Okay, so it looks like we are being streamed. These things always say they're live and you're not quite sure exactly when they go live. So hopefully we're live right now. Anyway, what I wanted to share with you today is how I use Magai as both my VA and personal assistant, and why I'm choosing to use Magai instead of what I was using before with other AI platforms. And just show you around a little bit and give you some ideas so you can see if this will be something useful for you. And there'll be a link in the description below if you want to try Magai out. It is a paid platform, and this is an affiliate link, but there I'm going to share some free options with you as well. So again, this is just for inspiration so you can see and why I like this one. So we're going to actually run a live test on this one, and hopefully I copied it correctly. I started to before. Let's see if I did. Nope. You know what? I did another search. So we'll go back. So I'm going to do a live test. So here's one of the ones I used to use, which was Forefront. It's F-O-R-E front AI. And so the live test we're going to do that I haven't done yet with Magai, so we'll see. It'll give us some more feedback on it. I asked Forefront to find me some patterns for these parameters. I help with a ministry at church that's for knitting and crocheting, and we wanted patterns for certain parameters. And I tried this with Forefront, and it gave me some results, but not necessarily the best ones. But before it's working now, we'll come back and see what the results were. So just to go back to that, it gave me results, but what I found here with Forefront is that a lot of these patterns that it gave me, they were to sites, they were like 404 errors or something. They weren't very relevant. And that's one of the things, and Forefront uses ChatGPT. That's one of the things with ChatGPT is it's only, well, I think it's changed now since when I did this, like it's not like up to 2023. It was only up to 2021, I think, back then. I think it might be up to 2022 now. So some of the data is delayed. So for this particular case, it didn't work so well. Some other things that you can do with AI just in general in terms of it being an assistant. So my husband and I, we also manage apartments, and I had to do a contract, and they give you a bunch of this legalese stuff and it's hard to understand. So I copied and pasted a lot of that in and like asked it to summarize sections for me in much smaller bits, especially the legalese section. So that was helpful. We also needed to write a letter to our tenants, and I think in bullet points. So to like fluff it all up to make it all English readable can be challenging for me sometimes, and spelling's not my forte. So it was really cool to be able to put the bullet points of the things that we wanted in. And then it came up with this very nice letter, and it reiterated some of the points. They did an excellent job. So these are just a few ideas of some of the things that you can do with AI. Now on to Magai. So why I like Magai so much, and I'm learning how to use this. I have a coach who helps me, an AI coach who helps me with some of the stuff. And so he has recommended this. So he's tested a lot of different things out. So most recently, I've used it in that I was teaching a 4-week course in a group that I'm part of called Confidence, Focus, and Momentum. And so I was getting ready to teach it again. But again, this is me thinking in bullet points, right? Confidence, focus, and momentum. It tells you some, but I was able to give it access to the content. So this is kind of a cool thing. Let me go back up here and show you that it can do is I gave it, let's see, the link to the videos, right? And these are like unlisted videos. I gave it to the link of the videos, and it was able to go through and summarize what each session was about. So then after it summarized each session, then I asked to give me some new titles for it. I picked some of the titles that I liked from it. Out of the titles it gave me, I picked 2, and I asked for it to give me like a summary of the 2. And so I picked 2. And actually, I'm ending up going with this one, Overcoming Mental Blocks for the entrepreneurial success. That was a change that I made. And then it gave me a nice summary, and I thought it just did a really good job. And this takes minutes. If I had to do it all myself, it would have taken me a lot longer. So that's one way that I've used it recently. Another way that I've used it recently was updating my website. So I needed to update my website, and I was able to give it links to my old website and a lot of different places, and it gave me content. I have some opt-ins that I'm offering on there, some resources. And so I was able to give it the link to the resources that have already been created and ask it for, in one case, I wanted a new title, but I able to ask it for, a 1 or 2 sentence summary. And I just feel like the things that it comes up with is so much better than what I can, and it does it quicker, but it's still me, right? Because they're learning the content from me because I created the opt-ins to begin with. So it's this nice mesh, right, of me and my voice, but somebody who can put things together grammatically correct and make it readable and convey much more information than I can in a much quicker way. So one of the things that I needed it to do for the new website is I needed a new bio because it was an old one. So I was able to give it, I have a media page. I was able to give it that. I copied and pasted my LinkedIn profile here. I linked to an old about me page on an old website. And then another place where I have, a media page that I have that has some bio information on that. And then it was able to give me both a short and a long form bio very quickly. And, for me, if I would have tried to do this, it probably would have taken me all day. And probably what took me the longest time was just gathering all the links, all the content is probably what took me the most time. And then it spit it out. And then you go in, of course, and you add and change and add your voice to it and correct things. But again, another way to use Magai. And actually, this might be a good example. The reason why I'm doing this, actually, the thing that kind of spurred this whole thing on is I was speaking to a trainer that also trains at the gym that I go to. And she's going to be taking a class that's going to be nutrition. There's going to be a lot of research aspect to it. And so this is what I love about AI as well, is it helps with research and making it go much quicker than just typing in your search terms, into Google and stuff. So recently I just finished a certification program on abundance, but I wanted to see these different laws of abundance that they were teaching, if there was a biblical perspective from it, because that's important for me. And so it was able to come and, I gave it some prompts and tell me all about it. Now I can go in, I would still want to go in and check these references in the context of the whole chapter to see if it's valid. But again, it just finds it so much more quickly and does that beginning legwork. But you do need to double check, like I was sharing earlier with the forefront, where I asked it for research on patterns and the links they gave me weren't very good. So we're going to see in a minute if this one is better. And actually, it's interesting. We'll have to see. We may have to try it a second time if it's not, and see if it makes a difference. So one of the things that I forgot to mention at the beginning here is that you want to pick which thing that you have it use. And the thing with Magai, though, is once you've chosen, you can't change it. So you can use ChatGPT, but then you can also use Claude. I think it's a Claude or Cloud. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. There's this instant and there's this advanced. And so it's recommended that you use advanced. And I don't think we can did that when I put it in the thing. So we'll have to see how it turns out. And then the other thing is that you get to pick a persona. So Magai comes with different personas, and you can use those, or you can create your own. So some of the personas, well, for this one, it was a Bible scholar. I use the marketing one a lot. Academic researcher, this would be great for that gal that I was telling you about, the trainer. She's got to be doing a bunch of research. So she can have this academic researcher go in and do that initial phase of the research. Now, of course, she's going to have to go back in and read the material and verify if it's accurate, and maybe look for some more resources. And you can even ask them for, you know, the AI for more resources in order for her to actually learn the content, right? And be able to pass the test and be able to help her clients moving forward. But anyway, you see there's a bunch of different personas that can help. You could also create your own persona as well. We're not going to be getting into that for the scope of this video. Another thing that I used it for recently, I lead a business networking group, and I needed an activity for us to use in breakout rooms. And so I wanted breakout questions. So I asked it for some. It gave me a bunch. A lot of them I didn't like because it was like we didn't really know each other, but a lot of us know each other. But there were a few. So I picked those, and then I said, hey, can you give me some more like these, right? I found 3 that I liked, and I asked it for some more. So then it gave me like 5 more, and you can keep doing that. So a lot of this with the AI is you're not necessarily going to get the best answer at the beginning, and your answers depend on how good your prompt is that you put in to begin with, right? But you can also ask it for more. You can clarify things, and it'll give it to you again. So it's pretty amazing. So let's see, even with me not collecting things right. So, well, we'll see how it goes. It may not work well. In fact, you know what I'm going to do right now? We're going to do this live too, is I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do the search again, only this time I'm going to make it a new search and do it the right way, so that you can see. So we're going to create a new chat. The other thing that I like, oh, this is important. The other thing that I like about Magai that you don't get in these other ones is that you can name your chats. You can organize them. You can save them into folders. There's a lot more organization in these other ones. You can do a little bit of that here, but I don't think you can in Forefront, but you can't do that over here. And it gets kind of messy and hard to manage. So that's another thing about Magai that's really cool. But let's go ahead and start this chat again and see. Let me set it up the right way, because I didn't do that at the beginning. So we want the Claude Advanced. And for this one, our persona, we are going to let's see, shall we go with an assistant or an academic researcher? Let's just go with an assistant. I don't think crochet patterns would require an academic researcher. Okay, so you can see up here now that I have it in the one that I want, the search one I want, and this. I'll put my parameters in here again, and let's see what it comes up with. The other thing is you're right, this works really fast. If I have to go through and do all of this on my own, it's going to take quite a while. So it's doing it. It gives you a bar up here so you can see how fast it's happening. So it's going pretty quick. Well, oh, look there, it's already there. So it's given me some patterns for each. So, oh, it's even giving me a hat pattern. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see if this is actually a pattern, that it's a good page. Like I said, when I tried this before, okay, so they're not clickable. So I'm going to have to copy and paste it. When I tried this on the other one, the patterns a lot of times were like 404 pages or old, and they just weren't usable. So we'll see how this goes. Oh, so that's interesting. So it's not taking me to a direct page. It's giving me a search term. Did I not copy it right? Let's see. What am I missing here? Maybe I'm missing something. Ah, I see. I have blankets in front of the thing. I don't have just, there we go. Let's try that again. All right. That should, there we go. Oh, all right. So sorry, not, this page isn't available, which is similar to what I found. So it's not always perfect. But it's still, again, very helpful. I think. Let's see if this one comes out any better, this beanie pattern. We'll just copy the first part. See how that works. So again, this is just to show you that AI is not perfect. It doesn't do everything. Oh, yep, 404 page. All right. So for finding patterns, it hasn't been very successful for me, but for all of these other things, it has been very helpful. So just to say, AI is not the panacea that you don't ever have to do any work again. You still have to verify the things that it does. And so in all of these other instances that I shared with you, the results were very good for me and very helpful. So with that, if you could use Magai as your personal assistant or VA to help you with some of these things, there'll be a link below for you to check it out, or you can check out the other ones as well. I'll put links for them in the chat as well. And I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you like this, or take a look around and see if there's something else useful for you. There'll be a video that'll show up for you. That'll be something that YouTube thinks you might like.